The new National Children's Hospital will be completed later this year and will be open and treating children next year. And when it is open, it'll be an incredible state-of-the-art hospital. It will care for our children for the next 50 to 100 years, and it will be comparable, if not superior, to many of the best children's hospitals in Europe and around the world. It'll be our first digital public hospital, 300 individual rooms for every child that needs to be admitted, and space for their parents to sleep in the room beside them. More theatres, more scanners, facilities that we couldn't even imagine now compared to what we have at the moment. And I look forward to that hospital opening next year and seeing patients being treated there for the first time. In terms of the decision made by Cabinet today, Cabinet agreed to increase the maximum allocation for the hospital to 1.9 billion capital, that's for the build, and 0.3 billion current, that's for the commissioning, decommissioning and transition to the new hospital, which will happen next year. So the total cost will be 2.2 billion, of which 1.4 billion has already been drawn down. Given that the project has taken much longer than anyone anticipated, and there will be years of dispute with the contractor about payments even when the hospital is fully open, this will not impact on other projects because the cost of this is spread out over 10 to 15 years. As I said, we expect handover to occur this year and it to be open to patients next year. I think it is important that when we talk about the entire cost of this project, that we don't make the mistake of thinking it's just about building the very large building which we can now all see in Dublin 8 next to St James's Hospital. It's also the satellite centre in Connolly in Blanchardstown open and treating patients, the satellite centre in Tala. It also involves some of the costs associated with the original Matter project, and of course Crumlin and Temple Street have to be decommissioned too. So it's a huge project across five different sites. In terms of what you said earlier, Deputy, waiting lists in our Irish hospitals are going down. We've said that nobody should wait more than 10 to 12 weeks to see a consultant if they need to, or to get an operation if they need it. While still too long, I accept that. Unlike most countries in the world, and indeed the jurisdiction north of the border, waiting lists in Ireland have fallen for the last 2 years in a row. And in relation to paediatric spinal surgery, again, the waiting list has fallen in the last year, not by enough, not close enough. But I do think it's important that I correct misinformation because it is the norm in your contributions here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
McDonald. Thank you, Taoiseach.
Well, just in the spirit of accuracy, Taoiseach, you should reflect the fact that waiting lists for children have not fallen, and there's more children with scoliosis and spina bifida waiting now than there were 4 years ago. That's the accurate fact of the matter. You say that the hospital will be completed this year. When? You say it'll be operational next year. When? Because the Minister was far less assured in his commentary today. He caveated every statement with a maybe and a perhaps and a reliance on the delivery by the construction developer. So can you give us dates, please? Give us timelines. When will it be finished? When will it be open? Are you saying that 2.2 billion is the final and full cost? Because you have caveated that with speculation around years of disputes in the courts. That strikes me as a very unsure and unsatisfactory answer, Taoiseach. So when you get to your feet again, can you give us the month in which the hospital building will be finished, when it will be fitted out, complete and open and operational? And can you give us an absolute assurance that 2.2 billion is in fact the final cost, inclusive of any protracted processes through the courts?
Taoiseach, please.
Thanks, Deputy. The hospital will be open later this year, 2024. October is the target month, and it'll be open to patients in 2025. 2.2 billion is the maximum allocation made by the government for this project. We will not be allocating any more. 1.4 billion drawn down already, an additional 0.8 billion available to complete the project and commission it and open to children, and that will happen next year.